Okay, I'll just share my screen. So is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Uh, and last lecture we just started with some decision statements. So this point we were just taking. And this we have seen the first part actually. So this is a decision making statement we have seen, but from these two, only first two options we have seen. So in this control statements, we have these three parts. One is the decision making statements. Second one is looping, or we can say iterative statements. And third one is the jumping statements. So whatever is this first part we were taking. So in this first part, we have seen if statement, if else statement, and switch case statements, right? Also, we have seen that conditional statements also, but in one example, we were having some kind of the error. So actually, that error was because of I had copied that code from this PPT, and while copying, I had just copied some special symbols, so that's why it was not working. But now I'll just tell you that same code here. Uh, I'll just see this one. I think if you see, this was this code. Okay. Yesterday we have seen the conditional statement, and in that conditional statement we had seen one example that was running the perfectly, but this was having some kind of error. Now see, as I said, this is a ternary operator. So here we have this question mark and this colon. Okay. So these two operators we can use, or we can put these two operator in between three the operands. So which are these three operands? So this complete is one operand, then this A is the second operand, and that B is the third operand, right? So we kept the two operators in between these three operands, right? Now this was the simple program we had seen. Now you can see here A value is 10. I'll just clear it first. Okay. So A value is 10, B value is 20, and we have just used this statement big equals to A is greater than B, question mark A colon B. What is the meaning of this? If this condition is true, it means if A is greater than B, then this A will execute, or we can say whatever is the A value that will be assigned to this big, and if this A is greater than B is not true, then this B will be considered, and here that B value will be assigned to this big. Have you understood me the concept? So this is the, we can say, ternary operator or the conditional operators. Now here, as our A is 10 and B is 20, so that statement is A is greater than B, so it's not true, right? Because A is 10 and B is 20, so this first condition becomes false. So it means in this case, whatever is the value of this B, that will be assigned to this big. Getting? And here we have printed this one, that big value, right? So I'll just save this, and I'll just try to compile this gcc and sample.c. So see, this is working, right? And if I run this program, you can see the big number is 20. You can see whatever is the B value that is been printed here. It means whatever is the B value that is assigned to this big, that is a 20, big B value is 20, that is assigned here, and that same value is been printed here, right? Now suppose if I change this value, A value to 50. Now what will happen here? Now A is greater than B. Is it true? So it's true because A value is 50 and B is 20. So as this condition is true, so that whatever is the A value that will be assigned to this big, and that big value will be printed. So now here a value is 50. So in this case, a value 50, that would be assigned to this big, and this big number value would be 50. So I'll just save and run it. You can see compilation without error, and if I run this, you can see big number equals to 50, right? So this is the ternary operator, or we can say conditional operator. And also we have seen the other example without just assignment of this. If you just simply remove this big, right? We have seen already, but I'll just again repeat it. If like a is greater than b, now you need to suppose print here, print what I can say, this one. I'm just printing that a value, and same thing I'm just printing that b value. I think you understood this, that same program we have taken, right? So now what I did here, if a is greater than b, if it is true, then whatever is the value of a, that will be printed here. If this statement is not true, then we can print this value, right? So I'll save it, I'll run it, first compile it, running, sorry, without free, error free it is running, and if I run it, so you can see here that value is 50 here. You can see here value is 50. So whatever is a value that has been printed here, that is 50. If I put here the new line, so we'll understand this. If it is not visible properly, you can see here that value is 50 here, right? So this was about the conditional statements. So we have completed that if statement, if else, switch case, and conditional statements. Now whatever are these three parts, from these three, first we have completed decision making statements, we can say. Now we'll just move toward the next one, that is the looping statements or iterative statements. So in this looping statements, these three loops we use in C programming, and the same loops are there in other programmings are also, like in Python, Java, C++ or something. So that same loops we are using there also. And here whatever is the concept of these loop, that concept would be same. While loop concept would be same. Do while loop concept, I think in the few languages that concept would not be there, but that concept is repetition of the same statements, we can say, or conditions. And that for is again same, for the repetition also we use. So these are the three loops, so we can use in the programming, in Java programming, in C++ programming, or in also Python programming, we can use this one. And here that while and for loop, actually the working of both is exactly same, only it differs in syntax, while and for loop. Only do while is something different, so that we'll see how it is different, the do while in the syntax and as well as in working also, right? So we will see the one by one, the while loop, do while loop, and for loop. And see, if you understand this looping concept, then you can implement any program, because for the logic development, this looping is very important. To implement any problem, we need to use these loops, and loops are most important in the all programming languages. So that's why my request is, if you are not understanding any part in these loops, so please tell me, I'll just again repeat it. And if you are not getting anything here, and still you are just ignoring that one, then you might get problem in future, right? So that's why if you are getting any, if you are not getting anything, you just tell me. Now here first we'll see that while loop. See, it is used to repeat a block of statement until condition becomes true. So this statement is true for while loop, as well as for do while loop, and as well as for loop. So for all these three loop, that statement is the same. This loop concept is used to repeat a block of statement until condition becomes true. and when condition becomes false, so this will exit from that loop. Now see, this is the syntax here I have written, and that just shown the flowchart also. So that flowchart is again somewhat same for the other loops. So that's why only in this while loop I'll just show that flowchart, and the only syntax is differ for the other loops. But for other loops I'll not show that flowchart again. Now here, this is the syntax for while loop. Now see here, one statement I just forgot here. I need to write here increment. Sorry, initialization. Initialization as required here, right? Okay. So this is the syntax for while loop. First statement, that is the initialization. Then we need to put this keyword at while, and inside this while just write down the condition. Now you just keep in your mind, as we know in C programming, every statement is having a semicolon, right? Each and every statement is having a semicolon in C programming. But if you see here, that semicolon is not given at the end of this statement. If you observe this, so semicolon is not given at the end of this statement. But why I have not given the semicolon at the end of this statement? So that reason is, this statement is started over here and ended here actually. And in C programming, every statement either terminated with the semicolon or it is terminated with closing brace. You just keep in your mind, in C programming, every statement is terminated with either semicolon or we can say closing brace. Now see, this statement is started here at W suppose, and it is been ended over here. So this complete is been treated as a single statement. You just keep in your mind, right? From here to here, this will be treated as a single statement. That's why here this is not end of the statement. Now here, after this, that opening brace is there again in the if and if else I just told you. If there is a single statement after that if or if else, so not necessary to put that opening and closing brace. That same thing would be here, but actually if we put any statement, so this statement is mandatory, and if you are putting this statement, it means two statements are there, so we need to put this opening and closing brace. So here we can say this is the block of statements. Whatever is the body of this while loop, so this is the body of while loop. So here while, then condition. If this condition is true, we have written here it is used to repeat a block of statement until condition becomes true. So you can see this condition becomes true. So if this condition becomes true, then and then that control will be entered into this body of while block. You can see here. Now consider that condition is true, then control will enter into this body of while block. Now whatever are the statements, these statements will be executed, and at the end, whatever the last statement, that last statement would be either increment or decrement. So sorry, I just forgot here semicolon also. So okay, so at the end we need to put either increment statement or decrement statement, and then you can just put the closing brace. So this is the syntax: first initialization, then condition, then body of block, and at the end the increment and decrement. That is the mandatory. So this syntax is there for the while loop. So I think that syntax is the very simple. And if you see this flow chart again, you can see here, if you see this condition is true, it means if condition is true, if as, then it is executing the body of block, and again it is going back to here, right? And when this condition becomes false, so it will exit from this loop. So if you say this, so I'll just explain it with the example so that you will understand in better way. Now one example I have just taken here. What I did here, see, this is the initialization statement. This is the keyword, that is while, and this is a condition. This is the body of while loop, and this is the increment or decrement statement we say. So here that statement is increment statement, right? So I'll just copy this and I'll just try to paste over here so that I'll tell you that working of this, right? Now see this is the initialization. Now you just understand here that initial value is 1 as we assign I equals to 1, so that is fixed. Now if you see, when I just initialize this int I, so in memory one block would be reserved and that block name would be I, and initially that will have the garbage value, and when just I assign that 1 to that I, so that garbage value will be replaced by this 1. Getting this? Now value of I is 1 here. Now second statement we are checking here. So while I is less than or equals to 4, so what is the value of I? I value is 1, and we are checking this condition, that 1 with 4. So is that 1 is less than or equals to 4? So yes, 1 is less than or equals to 4. It means this condition is true. So we can say here true, right? This condition is true first time. If it is true, then it will enter into this body. So what is the statement here? So it is saying print whatever is the I value. So I am just printing suppose 1, right? And here what I am doing here, I am incrementing this. So this is equivalent to I equals to I plus 1, right? So this I plus plus statement is very equivalent to I equals to I plus 1. So now initial value of I, again I just write here, initial value of I is 1, and again we are adding that 1 to that initial value of I, so that is 1 plus 1, that is becoming 2. So now new value of I would be 2. After just ending up this, that control will go back to this again while statement. We just understand here, after just executing this last statement of this while body, that control will go back to this while statement. Now here again it will check this condition. So now I value is 2, because that I value is 2 here, right? So I value is 2, so 2 is less than or equals to 4. So yes, definitely it is true again. So if it is true, again it will enter into this. Now whatever is the value of I, that it is printing. So now value of I is 2. Getting this? Now again it will come here. Now I value is 2. So it is incrementing by 1. So we can say now 2 is the original value and we're adding 1 to the 2, so that becomes 3. So that I value will be 3. Now again it is going back to this while. Again it is checking that condition, is that 3 is less than or equals to 4. So obviously that 3 is less than or equals to 4. So again we can say this is true. Again it will enter here and it will print that value of I. Now that value of I is 3, right? After executing this 3, again it is coming here. So again that I is incrementing by 1. So that I value would be now here 4, right? Now see, after just printing incrementing that I value by 1, so I is 4. Again it is coming here. Again it is checking whether that 4 is less than or equals to 4. So yes, it is equal with 4. So again it is true, and when it is true, again it will enter into this body of while loop, and that output would be 4. And after this statement it is coming here again that I is becoming or incrementing by 1, so it will become that 5. So I value, updated value is 5, right? And after this one it will go back to the while. Now here I value is 5 and this is 4. So is that 5 is less than or equals to 4? So definitely not. So here it we can say false, right? When it is false, it will exit from this loop. 1 minute, I'll just again write one statement here so that you will understand it in better way. %d, and I'll just print that I over here, that same, right? Now see, when I becomes 5, so this will check this condition. So I is 5, so that 5 is not less than or equals to 4. It means this becomes false. And when this becomes false, so it will exit from this while loop. So that while loop is starting here and exiting here. So whatever is the next statement after this closing bracket, that will be executed. Now here you can see that next statement again, that is printing the I value. Here you just keep in your mind, this is outside of while loop, right? This statement is not inside of this while loop, so this is the outside of while loop. So what would be the output of this? So output of this would be 5, right? Because here that I value is 5. Getting this? So I'll just run this so that you will understand over here. So the same program, right? And I just run it. So output would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and again next that would be 5, right? So what I'll do here, I'll just put the new line over here. So you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for the inside of this, and whatever is this 5, that 5 is for this. So I'll first save it and then run it. You can see now here. See, whatever is this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this output is of this while loop, and whatever is this 5. Sorry, again. You can see whatever is this 5. This 5 is the output of this statement. So I think you might understood this working of while loop. See, if you understood this working of this while loop, that same working is there for do while and same working is there for loop also. So if you are having any kind of difficulty here, please ask me. Otherwise, I'll just move for the next one. Any difficulty here? Please let me know if you are having.
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, if both have the same function, then why two means while and do while? Why?
I'll just tell you now when while and do while I'll take it. Okay. I'll just tell you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Here you just tell me if you are having any difficulty in while loop, you just tell me. Getting? Any difficulty in while loop? Now see one program. I think I have understood this program, everybody. So that I'll just go for the next example. Okay, I'll just simply change this program little. Just remove these comments. Now I think you understood this. Okay, right? Now see what I'll do here. I'll do this value of I is 6. Now can anybody tell me what would be the output of this? That initial value of I is 6, and suppose I run this program. So what would be the output? Only 6? Yes? Or something else also? Anybody? Okay, that output is 6. That is true. Why that is 6? That I'll just tell you. Now see here what I am doing here. So that initial value of I is 6. So now we are checking that condition over here. So is that 6 is less than or equals to 4? So definitely not, right? So that's why this condition becomes false. So when this becomes false, so this will skip this portion. Whatever is the while portion, that will be skipped, and whatever is the next statement, that will be executed, and that next statement is here. Getting? So this is the next statement, so that will be executed, and in this statement we are printing the value of I, and value of I is this one, I equals to 6, because very first time that I value or this condition of while becomes false. In very first attempt that while condition becomes false, that's why we have not entered into the while loop. So we exited from that while loop, and whatever is the next statement of that while, that will be executed. Have understood this? So I'll just run it so that again you will understand this. Run and compile. You can see that output is 6. If you see here, that output is 6. Getting? Simply 6, because we have not printed here 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. Simply that output is whatever is the assigned value of I, that is been printed here. So I think you might understood this one, right? Now I just coming back to this. So this program I just explained to you, right? Now I'll just move toward the examples of infinity while loop, because whenever we just write any loop, so that loop should be terminated. If that loop is not terminating, it means your program will enter into the infinite state and will not terminate, so that will continue executing, right? So that's why that termination condition is most important in while writing the program. And which are the infinity, the conditions that I'll just tell you here. I've just taken 3 examples for the infinity. First example is what you can see here, initial value of that var is 1, right? And what we are checking here, var is less than or equals to 2. So definitely initially var value is 1 and it is less than or equals to 2. So this is true. Then we are coming to this body of while. So we are printing value of var, so that will be 1, right? But now see here, increment condition is not there. If you see, because after printing this var value, that var value is 1, so it is not becoming 2, 3, 4 something, right? So that's why again it will come back to here, and again it is checking var is less than or equals to 2. So as var value is not been changed, that is 1 as it is. So that's why again this is true. So again it will enter here and it will print that var value, that is 1. Again go back here. Again we'll check that var value 1 with the 2. So it is true. Again it will coming to this. Again it is printing var value 1. Again it is going here, coming here, going here, coming here. So it means this will enter into the infinite loop. Have understood this? So there is no termination condition into this. That's why this program is an example of infinity loop. I think you might understood here. Now second example I have just taken here. Same var value is 6, right? And what we are checking, while var is greater than or equals to 5. Getting? Var is greater than or equals to 5. So in first checking, as var value is 6, so this condition becomes true, because 6 is always greater than or equals to 5. Now it is coming here, it is printing that var value, that is 6, and it is incrementing that var value. So var value is becoming 7. Var value is becoming 7. So it means again coming here, so that 7 is greater than or equals to 5. Again it will coming here, so that it is printing 7. Now var value will be incremented by 1, so 7 to 8. Again it is coming here, so it is incrementing, again coming here, printing, incrementing, checking. So this will enter into the infinite loop. I think you might understood this condition also, because here this condition is always true, because initial value of var is 6. So that's why this condition becomes always true. So again this is the example of infinity loop. right? Now next example that we'll see, var value is 5, right? So initial value of var is 5, and we are checking whether that var is less than or equals to 10. So 5 is less than or equals to 10, that is true. Now we are printing that var. Now here, instead of increment, we are going for the decrement. It means initial value of var is 5, then it becomes 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 0, something like that. Okay, so it is not reaching to this, so it means this condition becomes always true. So that's why this is an example of while infinity while loop also. Have understood these three examples? So I think you might understood this. If you are having any difficulty, again you can ask me, right? So these are the examples of while loop. Any doubt in while loop? Any doubt? Okay, if no, then I'll just move for the next. We'll have some practice on this in lab also, on while loop and for loop and do while loop and something, right? So here I think I have just taken one example along with the hands-on, right? Now we'll just move toward the do while. Someone had asked if that working is same, then why we have the two separate loops. So only one point is there, that's why we have the do while and while loop. And here also syntax is somewhat different. So if you see this is the, okay, this I just return the reasons why these are entering into the infinite loop. Okay, so for the first example I have written this, for the second I have written this, and for the third I have written this one. So for this first, as I explained already, so this program is an example of infinity while loop. Since the value of variable var is same, there is no increment or decrement. This is plus plus or minus minus operator used on this variable. So inside a body loop, so that's why the condition var less than 2, less than or equals to 2 will always true forever, and the loop will never terminate. So this is the reason behind this. And again in this, var value always have value greater than or equals to 2. So again this is an example of infinite loop, and same thing for this again, right? Now next is do while loop. Now see, if you see this line, a do while loop in C is similar to the while loop, except that the condition is always executed after the body of a loop. It is also called an exit control loop. Now see, I'll just again, when I just take examples, you will understand this, that line clearly. First, I'll just tell you the syntax of this. Here, this do is the keyword. Then this body of this do while is this one. And at the end, we check this condition. In while loop, initially we were checking that condition, and then we will entering into this body. But here, first we are entering into the body without checking condition, and at the end, we are checking the condition. See the syntax: do opening brace body of this do while, then last statement of this body is the increment or decrement, and after this closing brace you need to put this while condition. Now see here what I told you, in C programming each and every statement is either terminated with semicolon or the closing brace. Now see here, this do while is started here and ended here, not ended here. Getting this? If it ends here, so not necessarily put this semicolon over here, but after this closing brace this statement is there, that's why we need to put this semicolon, right? So keep in your mind, as this is not the end of this do while, so this is the end of do while, that's why we need to put this semicolon after this while. Getting this? Again here I forgot to put this semicolon. Okay. So this is the syntax of this one. right? Now see, this is the example, but first I'll just take the same example whatever we have seen here. Now see, we'll see this. Okay, see, in this example what we did in while loop, initial value of I was 6. Initially, as that condition was not true, so it was not entering into this while loop, it was exiting, and whatever is the statement outside of that while, that was executing. Now I'll just modify this program. What I'll do here, I'll just copy this and I'll just put here, right, and put this semicolon, and I'll just do this. Have you understood this? If you see, first I'll run and then again explain so that you will understand it. It is running, and if I run it, so what would be the output? So before just running, I'll just tell you, see, I value is 6, right? Now see here, it is not checking any condition. Without checking condition, that control is entering into this do while. So here, whatever is the value of I, that is been printed here, right? So here, that output would be 6, right? And then it will increment that I value by 1, and then it is checking that condition. Now here, after this, that I would be 7. Getting this? Because it is incremented by 1. Now it is checking this condition. Will that 7 is less than or equals to 4? So definitely not. So it means this condition is false. So it will exit from this do while, and then it will execute this statement. So here that output would be 7. Getting this? Now see, someone had asked me why we are keeping the do while. So what we did here, even though in first attempt that while condition is false in this do while, even though in first attempt if that condition becomes false, still that do while body will be executed. Getting my point? In first attempt, if that condition becomes false, still body of do while will be executed. But in while loop, if suppose in first attempt that condition becomes false, so that body of while will not be executed. So this is the difference between while and do while. Have understood this difference? Someone had asked me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just run this so that you will understand. Here you can see that 6 and 7, these two are the output here, because I value initially 6, without checking condition enter into this do while, and it printed that 6. At the end it is increment by 1, and then after that condition becomes false, it exited from the do while, and whatever the statement outside of this do while, that will be executed, and that value will be printed as a 7. Getting? So this was the, what we say, a difference between while and do while. I think you might clear this idea, right? So we were here, and this same statement I just taken, that same program I have taken here, only that values are different. What I did only here, initial value of I was 11, then I just printed this, and that condition was I is less than 10, and at the end I just printed high, right? So instead of printing that I value, just I printed that high. So that's why, so output would be 11 and high in this case. If you see this, you can see this, that same, you can see that 11 and high. You can see this output, this one. So that same program was like previous program, right? So this was the difference between while and do while also. So main differences are two. One is the syntax, you can see here. In this, first we initialize the variable, then we write do condition, do, then body of that do, and at the end we check the condition. So this is the first. Second, if in first attempt that condition becomes false, still that do while body will be executed. This is the thing, right? So these two are the major the differences between while and do while. So I think this is enough for the do and while. If you are having any kind of query, you just please ask me. Okay, any doubt? And I think it's time is okay, 2:18. So I'll stop here because that next one the important, and this might take some the more time. Next for loop, and that is most important loop in C programming or in all programming, you can say. Though that the for loop is the, we can say, replacement of while loop, right? And that is a simple syntax for the while for also. So in most of the programs they use the for loop. So if you are having any kind of query here, please ask me. The while I'll just end of this. I'll stop my sharing screen.